crafters, it's me, Jen Evers with Quality Crafts. And Merry Christmas! This is going to be the 4-part series that I teach you how to make a couple of really easy gifts that you can do for gift giving this year, or maybe to keep for yourself to do something organizational for 2020. This is a really cute mini album. If you want to know where I originally got it from, I'm going to link that right down below. They all have these little pages that open up, and so they're going to be able to be big enough to put in pictures, 4x6 pictures, and then you can make pockets and all kinds of stuff. So like there's a pocket here that can go underneath. When we glue these together, we glue them in a U so that we've got a pocket on the top as well. There it is. So you can add all kinds of stuff to this. It's just a really cool mini album that's super easy to make. So to start us off, we're going to need 8 sheets of cardstock, whatever color you want your pages to be. So like I made my pages white, but yours don't have to be white. Maybe you want your whole book to be this brown craft color. You totally, whatever you want, make sure you pick that color first, and maybe pick your other pattern papers that you're going to be working with so that it is all pretty cohesive. So as far as this goes, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off a strip. We're going to make 8 of these, okay? We're going to cut off a strip that's 2 1/4. 2 1/4, and that strip we're just going to cut right off. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our last piece, our existing piece, is 6 1/4. So I'm going to go out to 6 1/4, and there should be just a little bit left that's going to get trimmed off of there. If you do it that way, you will end up with these pieces that are going to be able to be trimmed exactly how we need them later. And you'll end up with these, which are exactly the size we want, which is 6 1/4 by 11. You need 8 of these, and you're going to need 5 of these. Now, if you want to know ahead, if you want to jump ahead a little bit and you want to do all your cutting right away, take all these long strips. You're going to have 8 of them. You only want 5. And cut this down. Leave the 2 1/4, but cut it down to 6 1/4. So I'm going to go back out to my 6 1/4. And I'm just going to slice that little piece off. This piece right here, this shorter piece, is the piece we don't need. You can just get rid of those. Okay, so let's move on from that. I have my 8 pieces here. These are my 8 pieces that are 6 1/4 by 11. These are going to be our pages. We're going to do a little scoring. And then these are my 5 pieces that I cut out before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, these are 2 1/4 by 6 1/4. We're going to also be scoring them. So we're going to do all the scoring at once. And I am going to pull out this one. I always keep one of these in here and not that plastic score tool, because I just feel like that plastic score tool is just kind of useless. We're going to go ahead and score these at 6 1/4 on all of them, on all the big ones, 6 1/4. I have to try not to be too heavy-handed. Let me go with a little bit larger of a ball there. 6 1/4. There we go. We're going to do all 8 of them that way. 6 1/4. You're probably thinking to yourself now, that's not going to make a 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, but remember, we're going to have that flap that comes out, and so that's why we're doing it this way. 6 1/4. And when I fold this one, to show you how that looks, I'm going to use my bone folder here. You're going to see that this is how our page turns out. So yes, the inside right here is 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, and then we've got that extra little flap that you saw. We're going to do that for all of these because we're going to glue them together. So make sure that you align these on the sides too, that you're looking for that, because these two are going to go together. The long pieces are going to meet. We're going to glue in here, and you're just going to want to make sure that both of these flaps are kind of like making an arrow. See the arrow? Then you'll know you got it right. So we're going to glue that together. When we do all of that, we're going to have 4 pieces. I'm just going to keep going so you guys can watch me do this. Normally I go live with these videos, but I decided that this series I was going to try to do pre-recorded. Right now, at the second that I'm making this, I'm thinking I'm not sure how much I'm going to edit this. That's the second one, because we already did 2. Because you guys are so used to watching me do these live, so I'm not sure if I should leave everything in, or if you'd rather prefer to see something that's a lot more edited so that you don't have to listen to me talk or whatever. See the arrow? So that's number 3. We have 1 more to go. Or if you want to see all the steps. So if you can just comment in the comment section below. Let me know which way you prefer it. Do you want me to do, if I'm doing pre-recorded, do you want me to do the long version so you see every step? Or do you want me to fast forward and cut it and edit it down? There's my last arrow, so that's my last set. So we should have 4 of these because we had 8 pages to start. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And now we're going to go ahead and take these 5 smaller pieces, which are 2 1/4 by 6 1/4, and these are going to be like our little gussets of things that hold the whole thing together. So we're going to make 2 different score marks, one on 1 inch and one at 1 1/4. So 1 inch is here, and 1 1/4 is right there. Even that's a little bit too wide, I think. I'm going to jump back to this one. So when you fold on those score lines and make them nice and crisp, you're going to see that this is the little square part that's going to hold our book together. Okay, if you want to make these a lot more sturdy and you want to use a heavier cardstock, be my guest. Just remember it's 1 and 1 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and score all of these now. 1, 1 1/4. One 1 1/4. And 1 1 1/4. And then I'm going to go ahead right away and just go ahead and do all of these score marks with the bone folder so that I know that they're creased in the right spot. And while I'm thinking of it, make sure that you pick a really good glue or some kind of a really good adhesive for putting this together so you know it's not going to fall apart. So 5 of these I have, and I have all my pages done, so I'm going to set those aside. There's only one other piece that we're going to worry about, but I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment, because the first thing we want to do is we're going to try to put these together. And then I'm going to go over the cover. Actually, you know what? Let's do the cover now, and then you'll kind of get the gist of that. Remember when I said that you would need some, like, what do I want to say? Chipboard. That's what I'm looking for. Chipboard. If I was doing this live, you guys would all be like, chipboard, chipboard. But anyway, I don't have any chipboard right now this second, and this glue always clogs on me. So what I'm going to do is take 110-pound cardstock, cut it twice, and glue them together. So I have 2 of them together. Now this is going to be the cover, the front cover and the back cover. So it's going to need to be 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. And that makes total sense, right? 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. I'm going to do that one more time with these last 2 that I have here. And I'm not being super careful only because I know these are going to get covered up. And I'll show you that in just a second. I thought I was going to leave this till the end, but I really think that you would maybe want to have all your pieces set before we get to putting everything together. So there are my 2 pieces, and they are super thick now, so perfect for that. Let me get this out of the way. And now we're gonna wrap the covers. Now I'm gonna do mine the same as I did the last one. Where did my little guy go? Oh, he's hiding. He's hiding. I did mine in the craft color. Like I was saying, pick your base color for your pages, pick your base color for your top and bottom, and then this piece right here was what I was talking about. You want to make sure that that matches the color that you're going to do your covers in. So right now, let's go ahead and do the covers. We're going to cover them in this. Okay, so you want about the same amount all the way around. I'm just using 8.5 by 11 sheets of craft cardstock. I just think like that is the super easiest way to go. Make sure that there's about the same around the whole thing. And I'm going to cut 2 of them so I'm ready. If you want to measure this, you go ahead. But you can just kind of eyeball it. Like, okay, there's approximately 1.5 inches all the way around. I need to cut this side off. So we're just going to go ahead and say, that looks pretty good. Go ahead and cut those 2 pieces off. Now, we're not going to score these, so you're going to want to use your bone folder and your hands to make sure that this wraps around there as well as you can do it. And I'm going to give you a little tip and trick on how to do that here real quick. And we are going to cut off these sides, or what they call mitering. But I'm going to go ahead and push my sides up against that. That's going to help me with how this fits and folds up across this. Okay, now that I see where those are, I'm just going to go ahead and cut across here. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you, all I'm doing really is cutting off this square. Okay, there's a square here. And then I'm mitering this edge a little bit like this. Okay, and then I'm like mitering this edge. That's what they call it. But instead of doing that 3-step thing, I'm just cutting straight across the whole darn corner. Straight across the whole corner, and then we'll see how that wraps. We're going to put another cover piece right over the top that's 6 1/4. Actually, probably closer to 6 by 6. So don't worry about that if it's not perfect. I need my glue. We're going to glue this down. That's next. Okay, and then we're going to glue all this stuff up. So like I said, we're going to go ahead, use your bone folder to kind of push that up and smoosh it in. Okay, and then I'm going to go this side. I'm going to go opposite sides. You could do whatever is comfortable for you. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to get that up there, and then I'm going to smoosh that out. Now, some of this glue comes out, no big deal. We're going to cover that up. But if you're using a black where you know if the glue gets on there, it's going to make a mess, and you're going to be able to see that, then you might want to be a little bit more careful, or maybe not use wet glue on here. Totally up to you. Okay, and then last side. All right, and now our next piece, our 6 by 6 of whatever it is that you want to use inside your book, is going to cover this right up, your 6 by 6 paper. Okay, and we need to do that twice. So here's my next piece, and hopefully in the interim I didn't lose my, there it is. So I'm just going to do this one more time. And that way, if you are watching and you need a little bit more help, you'll be able to see this done in extra time. If you don't want to use your fingers, use your bone folder. My videos like this, if you're a noob, not a noob, new to my channel, that is, usually run around an hour or so. And right now we're at like the 14-minute mark, I think. So I'm not sure how long this is going to last with me just, you know, keep on going and stuff. But typically we have like chat going on and people are talking about what they're doing for Christmas or what they're doing for Thanksgiving and how things are going in their life. So I'm not saying that I'm gonna not have any lives ever again, because I'm sure I will. But probably as you guys are watching this right now, I have my friend Tiffany over. And we're hanging out and making cards and eating pizza. Oops, I usually go the opposite side, but I didn't this time. I'm going to wipe up that glue. Got a little heavy-handed there. This is going to be interesting because I'm going to try to do this one a different way when we put it together. So bear with me. I'm going to see if I can... I want to cover something. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about in just a minute after I get this all put together. Okay, so that'll also get covered by the 6x6 paper, but isn't that cool? And now you have a really cool cover, and it looks like a professional cover, right? Because that's all going to get covered up. So we have all of our pages, all of our hinges, let's just call them hinges, and then our covers. So all we really need is to put this together and decorate it, right? So that didn't take too long, about 15 minutes to cut everything apart. And really, if you knew what they were and you didn't have to watch me cut, and well, it probably would go faster for you. That's what I'm thinking. So that last piece of this brown paper is going to be 6 1/4 by 4. Mine's not big enough. I'm going to need something bigger, so I'm going to need one more piece of that. I do wish that this was a heavier cardstock because it's going to be the outer part, but you could always double it up if you want to. I just feel like the score marks might not be as good if you're doubled up on that paper, so I'm just going to go with this. So 4 by 6 1/4. So let's go up to 4. We're going to cut this at 4 inches. Make sure I got it straight. And then we're going to go out to 6 1/4. So that 6 1/4 mark, that's really important in this whole piece because that's what makes everything all the right size. And I am going to bring out the score part for this last piece. Let's see if I get my small one. Okay. So this one is going to go from 1 inch to 3 inches and every 1/4 inch in between. So 1 inch, 3 inches, and then every 1/4 inch in between 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, and 2. 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4, 3, and you're done. So this is what it should look like when you're fully done. You should have an inch on either side because we went from 1 to 3 and it's a 4 inch, and then 1/4 of an inch on the whole other part. Now you pick which side you want to face out. Since this is the part that went up, you can feel the bumps. I want this part on the outside, so we're just going to kind of roll it up. Now the video that I watched used like a pen or something. I'm just going to use my fingers and just kind of bend it to start making it kind of making a roll. You can use whatever you want. Okay, just so that it's like starting to go like this, because then that's going to get put on here as well. This is the tricky part, so stick with me. I may have to do more than one take of this. Now, the very first one we want to do, we're going to take 2 of our inserts. Remember we made that arrow? And we're going to put it so that the arrow is facing to the right. And we're going to put those 2 pieces. Oh, we didn't glue these together yet. Let's go ahead and glue them. Decide whether or not, before we glue these, because we're going to put it all together, whether or not you want pockets in here. If you want a pocket coming in from the top, then just put glue and a U right here and put it together. This part's going to be on the inside, so you can't make a pocket going that way. And you definitely don't want to do a pocket on the bottom because all your junk's going to fall out. So, I'm not going to worry about pockets this time. I'm just going to glue mine together. You can just decide, you know, like whatever it is that you want to do with yours. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some glue in here and smoosh these down together. Just make sure that as you're putting these together, that your flaps are making an arrow. Doesn't matter which way. I'll get back to that, which way you have to do it in just a second. Just make sure that as you're putting these two together, it makes an arrow before you glue it down. Because you don't want the flaps going opposite ways. And obviously the more accurate you are, the better it'll turn out, so take your time. Here's my other one. There's my arrow, so I know I can put my glue there. So I'm going to try to get that right on. Have you ever noticed that paper's not always perfectly cut, perfectly square? Don't worry about that. There's my arrow. That makes me know that I can put my glue here. Slide those two around till they meet up. Awesome. You can take a bone folder or whatever you want to smoosh those down if that's what you so desire. However you want to do it. Such an easy, fun project to do. Okay, so now, because I'm trying to visualize this from the video that I watched so I don't mess you guys up, we're going to take the first one, like I said. Put your arrow to the right so that this part, this empty part right here, that's sticking out. And now we're going to start taking these, okay? This always gets confusing to me. But we're going to glue this one down on this edge here. Okay, this is where your cover is going to go eventually. This is the one we're starting with. The cover is going to go. That's why this is going to be empty here as we start this out. So put glue on this side. Okay, and if you have to smash this down so that you can see where you're lining it up, smash it down for now. Line that up real well. And then place it down, because that's always going to come up. See that? So all I did was just smash this down so that I could line that up. And now that is going to be where the cover is. I'm going to show you the book. This is something that really confused me. So this is where our cover is going to go. I want to get you to get the idea of this. Okay, and then that's how the pages open up. Just like in my book, right? That's how, when you open it up here, then your page runs out. Same idea. Okay, only we're not going to glue that on just yet. And then we're going to flip it over. This is the part that always confused me. We're going to flip it over this way, because we're going to continue to glue these on and glue our pages on. So you need one of these before you glue the next page on. So we're going to go ahead and glue another one of these on right away. This is the part of the whole video that you really probably should take note of. And I'll be redoing this if I got it wrong. Make sure you line these up the best you can. Okay? And now on top of here is where we're going to put our next page. Now make sure that this part right here is going towards the inside, otherwise your flaps won't open up. If you do it this way, you're gonna be stuck on this thing. So make sure that it's going the same way. If you have a flap here, when you put it down, you should have a flap going the same way. And then that's where you're going to put it down. So put your glue on there. Line it up. And then you can smash the whole thing down and slide it if it's not perfect. Okay, and then that's going to go up a little bit. Like that. And then we're going to glue another one of these. I was so confused when I first did this. I really hope that this part does not confuse you guys. So line it up. That one doesn't look like it's very straight to me, so I'm going to try to adjust by re-pushing on it. There. Good. Then another page. Make sure my flaps go in the right way. And glue it down. Okay. We've got one more page, so we need a little one of these in between. Smash that down so I can line it up as well as I can. I'm going to put a page on here. This will be our last page. Make sure I have my flap up. Yep, I'm going the right way. That would be so sad if I did the last one wrong. Okay. And then, because if I flip this over on this side, we left this part for the cover. When I'm on this side, I'm going to leave one last one on this side for the back cover. So we're going to put it on the glue on this side, because that side you can't really see. And then we're going to line it up right with that edge. I'm going to move this out of the way. Line it up with that edge. You could do as many of these as you wanted to. Like I said, you can make this as thick or as thin of a book that you really care to make. Okay? So now when I stand it up, I have all of my little things on this side, and there's two left for the covers. Okay? Now this is the only thing you have to think about during this time is if you made pockets. If you made pockets and they're going a certain way, then you have to make sure you glue your cover on the right way. And the other thing I want to say is if you want to decorate this before you put the covers on to make sure that it looks right, go ahead and do that. Here is the thing that I was wondering about that might make this easier. So what you typically would do is glue this on, right on that little thing for the cover, right? And then this would go on last, and you would mark it right there, and it would go around. It, and it would glue right here. Now, if you don't want to see this, even though we're going to put something on the front, you probably won't see it, you could try gluing this directly in here and then putting the cover right on top of it so you don't see it at all. I'm going to attempt that. I hope that I don't mess it up, but I'm going to attempt that because I thought, oh, that might be kind of cool. If you don't even see that because it's on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that straight down to the whole flap. Got to make sure that looks like I cut this a little bit long. I might be able to trim that. Okay, and then you're still, yep, that went on. You're still going to see a line right here. You're still going to see a line right here to help you line up that cover. And your cover is going to go on the top here. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue here and see if we can't get a good picture of how this looks if we do it this way. So lining that up. Yeah, I think I made this a little bit longer than 6 1/4. Just want to make sure that I get that on there right. That works. See, then it's hidden. So let's do it the same way on this side. I don't have to worry about which way I did mine because I didn't do any pockets. So we're going to make sure that this lines up there at the end of that. And then we're going to put our cover on the top. Look at that. That way. Oh, so yeah, I guess either way. Now I have the white on the inside, which I could cover up as well. So if you want to tuck these under, you're going to get the white. But if you put the white first and put the brown on top, then you're going to have a line right here. So that's completely up to you, however you want to do it. So you can add stuff to this that are, I always miss a little bit of glue on that end. If you find that this corner's coming off, just add a little bit more glue. That happened to my last one too. Just going to peel this off and make sure that that goes right up to the top. Really easy fixes, and there's a lot of ways to cover up any mistakes that you've made as well, which is another reason why I chose this one. Like, my little piece went a little bit too far there. All I have to do is just trim that off. I'm going to open up the book, and I'm just going to trim that little piece right off of there. Same on the bottom. I'm going to need a little, maybe a smaller scissor. Chop that right off. Okay? And that is your fully made album. So when you open it up, you have a piece that comes out. And then on the next page, that one comes out. And then all you have to do is just start decorating it. If you want to do a whole sheet across here, you can. If you want to do each one individually, you can. Now remember, the inside big pieces are 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. So a 6 by 6 sheet of paper would be perfect for that. And then all you'd have to do is cut it a little bit down for the outer flaps. Now, if you want to vote on whether or not I make a video next showing you how to decorate it and decorate some of it, leave a comment in the video, in the doobly-doo. Who says that? Sandy Alnack says that. In the comments, leave a comment. Let me know if you want to see this decorated. But I am going to do a follow-up video at some point that shows you how to make all these cute little designer things using, you know, your little paper scraps and little paper clips. You can use bigger paper clips too. Sometimes the little ones don't hold on so well, but aren't they super cute? So be looking forward to that. We're gonna go ahead and do that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe and then a little bell, click on there. And what's new that I don't hear people say a lot is click on the bell, and then a little menu will come up. Click on all, and that way you'll be notified when all the videos come out, and that might make a difference in whether or not you're notified. Alrighty, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I can't wait to see what you make. If you make this, give a thumbs up to the gal I'll leave in the description box who I got this idea from. Then leave my channel some love, answer the questions that I asked today, and I can't wait to see you guys next video.